Hi, I'm Rex Davidson with OEM Products. Today we're going to talk about probably the most troublesome system on our lightning and hurricane floor scrapers. This is a propane system that's on both the lightning and hurricane machines that employ the Kohler engines. We've got a mock-up system here to kind of help us explain how each component works in the system, which will help you troubleshoot the machine whenever it may not start or may not be operating correctly. Okay, this system looks pretty complicated. Actually, it can be broken down into 4 simple parts. We have an oil pressure ascending unit, an electric solenoid valve, vaporizer, and a regulator. Okay, so the oil pressure ascending unit is on here as a safety device. It's also there as an oil pressure shutdown to kill the engine. So as you're cranking over the engine, this thing will allow oil pressure to turn this switch on to give the engine fuel. But it also, if you're running the machine and you run out of oil, it'll shut the engine down by killing the fuel. Okay, so the second component here in this system is the electric solenoid valve. So once the engine has been cranking over and you got oil pressure, it connects these 2 wires, turns this valve on, and allows fuel pressure to go into the vaporizer. The third component of the system is the fuel vaporizer. So oil pressure ascending unit is satisfied whenever the engine is cranking over. It connects these 2 wires, puts electricity to the electric solenoid valve. Solenoid valve allows the propane to pass through here into the vaporizer and reduces tank pressure from 120 psi down to about 10 or 11. Also changes the liquid propane into vapor propane. So our fourth component in the system is the fuel regulator. So again, oil pressure builds up, connects the 2 wires, turns the valve on, allows fuel to go into the vaporizer. Vaporizer reduces it to about 11 psi, also changes it from liquid propane into vapor propane, goes into the regulator. Regulator will convert that 10 to 11 pounds into between 2 and 6, depending on how it's operating, and allows the engine to run. Okay, so let's do a quick overview of how this is going to work when everything's functioning properly. So we're going to utilize air pressure today instead of propane. We're also going to use air pressure to simulate oil pressure. So this right here is our simulated oil pressure gauge, and this is our unit here. The key is on, so we're going to have 12 volts coming to one side of this pressure switch, but not the other. So the other side is dead. You can see the light's not on. So we're going to simulate oil pressure by increasing the pressure on this. You can see the gauge is coming up. When it gets to about 6 pounds, it turns this on. It knows the engine is cranking over. Solenoid valve has been turned on as evidence of pressure in the vaporizer. The vaporizer is going to convert that propane into that liquid propane to vapor propane, sending it down here to the regulator. Regulator showing 6 pounds, 7 pounds there, so this engine should start and run. On each and every lightning hurricane machine, we've provided this diagnostic tool here, this gauge, to let you know if it is a fuel system problem. So if you're cranking the engine over and it stays at 0, then we've got other videos that you can look at to help you diagnose that down to the component that's not working properly.